Hi guys, how are you? It's good to see all of you. I know it's been a while, but I thought that I would pop on here and check in and maybe chat with you guys a little bit. I know that with everything going on, it's kind of crazy and scary, but I don't want to linger on that too much. I don't want to bring us down. So I thought maybe we could talk about one of the few benefits to this whole situation, which is the excessive amount of free time that a lot of us are stuck with now, and that gives us plenty of opportunity to binge watch lots of content. So yeah, I just thought we could talk about some of the things that I'm watching or that I've watched, and then maybe you guys could give me recommendations of things that you've watched that you're really excited about and that I should take a peek at, because I'm always looking for something new and interesting to watch. And a lot of times, even as you're scrolling through whatever streaming service, there's so much more content on there than they can recommend. So there's lots of hidden gems. But yeah, I thought we could just chat about that for a minute. So I guess we'll just start with the thing that's kind of sweeping the nation or the world, I don't know, right now. If you are tuned in online, then you probably know what I'm talking about, and that's Netflix's Tiger King and that fucking bitch Carol Baskin. But yeah, I watched that last weekend with my best friend. We both watched it, and it's really funny. It's insane. Like, I know a lot of people think that, like, he's innocent and belongs out of jail. I don't actually fall into that camp. I think he's probably pretty guilty. I just also think that all of his cohorts are as equally guilty and deserve to be in prison too. But whatever. But if you've been seeing people talk about it and you're wondering, like, is it as crazy and ridiculous as people are making it out to be? Like, yes, it is actually probably 100 times more ridiculous than you could even expect. It's a wild ride. Yeah, it's basically just about this guy who runs like a zoo, and he's a complete hillbilly, and he's in like a throuple, and he's obsessed with this woman, and she's obsessed with him, like destroying each other. And it's basically just documents the saga of their ongoing battles and how it like ruins his life. So it's crazy. So crazy, but it's worth watching, especially if you're feeling really down. Like, it's mindless entertainment. So I think that everyone could probably get a kick out of it. So yeah, I watched that. That's the only recommendation I have that's like super lighthearted until I get to like scripted stuff or like scripted TV shows later. But I have a few other things to talk about first. So yeah, that's one thing I really liked. And then another Netflix. I'm looking at my computer too, if you're wondering. I have a little list. Another Netflix documentary is The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez, and it's like maybe a 7 or 8 part series. It is about this little boy from California who was tortured and abused and neglected and eventually murdered by his mother and stepfather. It is horrifying. Oh my god. I teared up probably like 15 times while I was watching that. But it's so, it's an important thing to see because it really opens your eyes up to the failings of, like, the state child services and police officers, and how, like, constantly children are just overlooked, and, like, these programs are underfunded and under-monitored. I couldn't even possibly get into all the atrocities that happened to him, but he was failed at every turn by his school, by his family, by the police, by child protective services, and by every stranger that ever saw him on the street. Like, it's so heartbreaking, but it's unbelievably well done, and they do a deep dive into all the parts, all the moving parts of people that had anything to do with this. It's really well executed, but it's very hard to watch. So if you are very easily upset, or like prone to nightmares, or easily triggered, maybe don't watch it, or don't watch it alone. But it's definitely something worth seeing if you think you can handle it. It's so, I just get chills when I think about it. Another, because you'll notice a theme, I'm super into documentaries. I've seen so many, and I'm always on the hunt for the next, like, super juicy one. So another one that I watched recently, also on Netflix, I think, is called Audrey and Daisy, and it tells their stories, both, but there's a couple other stories sprinkled in there, and it's about two girls in different places that are both raped or sexually assaulted at a party where they are extremely intoxicated and unconscious. And it's not really a spoiler, it's in the description, and you find out, like, almost right away that one of them, she actually kills herself because of all the bullying that she received after that happened to her. And then the other one, she goes forward trying to prosecute the boys who had a hand in her attack, and oh god, the people of that town are so infuriating. This one's a hard one to watch, to stomach, just because of the injustice, especially if you're a woman. But it's another, like, it's an important story, and they talk to a lot of survivors of assault through there, and it's nice to see them, like, band together and find strength in one another. But it's hard to watch nothing happen to the boys and men that are responsible for these attacks over and over and over again. But yeah, it's a good one though, and it's pretty short. It's just like a movie length. It's not like, an 8-part series or anything. I could talk about documentaries forever, but those are things I've watched recently, so I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. The next two are also on Netflix, but they're scripted. So that's When They See Us, which was huge. So lots of you may have already watched it, but if you didn't, it's Ava DuVernay, is that how you say her name? Her show about the Central Park 5 case. Again, I always do this to myself. I watch these things that I know are gonna make me so mad, and especially with this case, it's been resolved for so long that there's nothing to be done, but oh god, it is still hard to watch, especially that first episode when they're all still children and being tormented and prosecuted, and you know that they are innocent and they're just so little, and you're just like, why is no one fucking protecting them? Like, God. But it's well written, well directed, well acted. It's heartbreaking and gut-wrenching. All of the stuff that happened to them, and even to the Central Park jogger, whose name is escaping me. But even her, like, you wronged her by prosecuting the wrong people because you didn't give her justice for her crime. And you also allowed the person who really did it to go on and murder other people. So, oh God. It's a really good miniseries, though. Really, really good. But really, really infuriating. But worth watching. And that's going to be a theme because the next show I have to talk about is along the same vein. It's called Unbelievable. So it's about a girl that, well, it starts out about a girl that is raped, and her family doesn't believe her, and the cops don't really believe her, and so she ends up taking her statement back and then actually being prosecuted for giving a false statement, even though she was telling the truth. And then that man goes on to rape many, many more women, and it takes years for cops to put the pieces together because he hits so many different places. And it is scripted, but it's based on a true story. It has Toni Collette and Merritt Weaver. I think that's her name. And it's another one, I'm being redundant, that is infuriating but important. It's horrible to see the way that she was treated, and the way that it ruined her life, because when she took it back, then she was a liar and an attention seeker, and no one trusted her, and her family and her friends turned against her. It was really sad to see. It was awful, but it was the same as When They See Us. So well done that I think it's something most people would enjoy or should see. So maybe that can be it for the heavy stuff. I do tend to like things like that. Like I said, I like to get myself worked up. There's something else I really want to see that came out recently that I know is going to be the same. Oh, Just Mercy. I really want to see that. I need to see if it's on Amazon Prime or Redbox or something. But I know it's going to be the same kind of really infuriating content. Social injustice movies get under my skin so bad. Especially when you just feel helpless, like there's nothing you can do. But yeah. So I'm on my computer, I'm on my Hulu now, because this is kind of where I've been watching like TV shows lately. So I don't think I really ever talked about it, but I do watch some serious like drama shows, but my bread and butter are sitcoms. Like, I want to laugh. So I really like a lot of different sitcoms, but the ones I've been rewatching lately during all this quarantining, self-isolating stuff is I rewatched recently all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is so good, and its new season is still airing right now, actually. Season 6 or season 7. Season 7. So it has an amazing cast, and it's just so funny without it makes jokes about itself, but it doesn't put other people down. Like, it punches up instead of down, like it doesn't beat people down. I love that show. So I'm caught up on that now, but I also, on an opposite the opposite side of a wholesome comedy is I just finished rewatching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which, if you're familiar with it, you know they are horrible people. But if you're not, they're horrible people. It's a hilarious show. Rob McElhaney and Glenn Howerton, Caitlin Olsen, Charlie Day, and Danny DeVito are stars. This show has been on for 14 seasons, and it's still funny, I think. I think it's still really good. But yeah, it's just about the gang, and they own a bar together, and all of the hijinks that they get themselves into. They're truly all ridiculous, immature, and vapid characters, and truly terrible, awful people. None of them have any real redeeming qualities, but you still like them anyways. But even sometimes I'm watching an episode and I'm just like, that's too far. No, I can't relate to that. That's too much. But it's still funny. And it's 14 seasons, but they're all short seasons. So, they're not 20-something episodes long. Most of the seasons are 10 to 12 episodes long. So it's pretty easy to get through, even though it's, sounds daunting. And I would say that if any of you do give it a chance, stick with it. I remember when I first watched it, the first season or so, I wasn't totally invested in the characters, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep going, but it grows on you. And then by the time you reach the end, you could go back and watch the beginning and see what they were doing, and you like the characters now, so you'll like those episodes more. But yeah, so I rewatched that. And then what I've been rewatching now, and sorry, my nose keeps itching. What I'm not done with yet is I've been rewatching Scrubs, which I've seen multiple times before. I love this show, but it's been a minute since my last rewatch, so yeah, I love it. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about Scrubs. When they talk about classic sitcoms, it's always The Office and Parks and Rec, Friends, Seinfeld, stuff like that, which I love, especially Friends, The Office, and Parks and Rec. Those are 3 of my favorite shows, but I think Scrubs is really good too. I think some of the daydreams that Zach Braff's character has are a little ridiculous, but I think the cast is really good, especially what is his name? I can't think of his name. I'm gonna Google it. This is gonna drive me crazy. The actor's name, not the character's name. Oh, John C. McGinley. That plays Dr. Cox. His character is so ridiculous and over the top and rude and brass and crass, but he's so funny. And also Krista Miller, who plays his girlfriend on the show. I love her. So yeah, I love that show. It's so funny. I wish Donald Faison did more too, because I love him as well. I've loved him since I was a kid, and he was in Clueless. But yeah, so that's one. I'm almost done with it, but I'm not there yet. Oh yeah, I forgot. Speaking of Krista Miller and actually Bill Lawrence in general, who's the creator of Scrubs, I also have been watching Cougar Town, which is Courtney Cox. She's the lead character on that show. It's another one I think is funny. Just kind of mindless entertainment. You can put it on while you're doing other things, and it gives me the giggles. But yeah, so I also listen to a lot of podcasts, but I talked about that a lot in my What's on My Phone video. So if you're interested in what podcasts I listen to, definitely check that out. I don't want to go into it now and just make this terribly long and redundant for those who did watch that video. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching now, or what I've been watching. So like I said, do be sure to leave what you guys have been watching, or what you want to watch, what you've heard is good, down below, because like I said, I am almost done with Scrub, so I'm gonna need something new very, very shortly. Yeah, other than that, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe during this, and I hope that all of your loved ones are safe, and I hope that this all ends really soon, but yeah, I just don't know. But until then, or until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching.